All right. Gotta wait for this to work. Excuse me. Maybe I'll just wait that out. I think it'll only be about a minute or two. So, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Give me a second to get myself oriented here. I'm gonna try and do something a little bit different today. I'm just gonna leave the stream rolling for about a minute until the auto ads want to start playing, so they won't fire a second time. But if this is your first time joining, here we go. If this is your first time joining, this is usually something that I do at the beginning of every stream. I will run the ads before anyone shows up, and that way no one has to deal with pre-rolls for about an hour. I'll do a little preamble spiel in between, which means if you want to skip it, jump ahead to about 2:45 in the video now, or 2 minutes and 45 ahead. The easiest way, if you can scrub, is just to look for when this particular pre-roll screen disappears, and that's when the video itself will start. If you are hearing this, you're probably watching on YouTube or on Twitch as a VOD, and in either of those places, thank you very much for doing so. For YouTube, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be great. I always welcome more friends, and it helps out a lot when I get the subscribers. So hopefully anybody who likes my long form content can see it and enjoy as well. On Twitch, if you want to follow, that'd be great, especially because since I like having friends to spend time with, if you want to swing by during the live feed and hang out with me, I would love that. In case either of those don't really give you notifications, because I know sometimes they are not the best systems, feel free to join my Discord. There's a link to it in the bios of both Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully it's not too difficult to find. If it is, please let me know in the comments. But we have a great little community going, lots of fun people, lots of fun things going on. On top of that, on top of just the hanging out and meme channels and general things that you might have, there are options for a lot of ways to give you control of the stream as much as possible. So there's polls for what the next game you want to see is. You can see my current list of Steam games if there's something on there you want me to prioritize. There's polls for what our next bits and sub goal is going to be. And there's also a countdown timer to the spooky games, which I don't want to play, but I made an agreement that at certain average viewership thresholds, I would play them. And I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but I said I would, so I will. And you can see on there what the next spooky goal is and how far away we are from it. At the end of every stream, I post the stats, the current stats, so you can track basically in real time how far away we are from it. Yeah, I think that's about it for the moment. We'll be back to the main game in about 2 seconds, so thank you again. And welcome back to Twitch proper. Thank you for waiting. I always have to get that out of the way. Turn off the pre-roll GIF. There we go. So, we'll get back to Forager today. It's nice when I get to take a little bit of a break because it lets me refocus what I'm doing and what I want to do with the game. I'm not so busy spazzing out over all the little tasks that I have to do that I can't think. So, what we're looking for today is to start with, are there any beets? Because I would like to get a windmill and start planting beets. That way I can start creating boss scrolls. which are going to be very important for me. Well, hello there. Thank you for joining, Conup. Always nice to see you. How you doing? Let's see. What's this? I've forgotten what this is. That's the sigil maker, right? Okay. Ooh, that needs a lot of beets. Holy cow. Another lovely day. Spring is upon you now. That's nice. Doing all right. We have a lovely day up here too. I was just thinking to myself earlier, man, I wish I could go outside and play. I can't, but I wish I could. Slept pretty well. Woke up. Thankfully, no weird dreams last night about being live on Twitch. That is a weird dream for me to have, so I'm glad that didn't happen again. Woke up, played some Final Fantasy XIV, said hi to Nat on Discord, and now I am here. I really like Final Fantasy XIV. I think I may have to invest in it again. Like to actually pay for the sub, I mean. Right now I'm still running off of the free days, but it's so enjoyable a process for me to go through and level up and play that game. I may not have a choice. I'm having so much fun. I sink into it forever. Hey you, do you have beets? You do not have beets. Dang it. That means you can beat it. How about you? Did you sleep well? Any plans for the day? Exciting things going on? That sort of thing? I have had those experiences, I understand. Hopefully you're not too exhausted for the rest of the day. You mentioned you'd be more or less gone until October. When is that gonna start? Not that I want to get rid of you, I'm just wondering when I should stop expecting you every day in the stream. I will be very sad. I will be infinitely sad. This got really overgrown. Oh, okay. That's a very good reason to not be here then. Okay, well, no worries. So the 10th to the 30th of September. Okay, cool. I shall try and keep that in mind. No worries. Let me just... Connor... Gone... 10th to 30th. Okay. I have made a note of that, so I won't have to ask again. But, thank you for letting me know. As I said, your presence will be missed. It's always nice having you here. You are a very consistent brightening up of my day since you're here, and I appreciate you greatly. hanging out as you can would be much appreciated. But I do hope you have a lot of fun with your significant other there. Long-distance relationships are hard, I imagine, so hooray for getting to spend time together. You know, every time I think of long-distance relationships, though, I think of that scene from Treasure Planet. I don't know if you saw that. It's the Disney version that was so cool. But they advertised it poorly, so many people didn't get to watch it. And it's Treasure Island, but retold in space. But there is this one part on there where the guy who's funding the expedition is trying to talk about how you just need to spend some time with the boy. And as he's going through, he accidentally says, you know what they say about familiarity? Familiarity breeds, well, contempt. Wait, no, that's wrong. And I find that hilarious. Those little slips of the tongue where you're trying to be encouraging and you end up screwing yourself over are just hilarious to me. I feel like I should watch Treasure Planet again. It's been an awful long time since I've seen that. And it really was super cool. It was, I think, Disney's last, like, hand-drawn animated movie. It incorporated some CG elements, but they were not the focus of it. And a lot of people suggested... Oh, good. Okay. It was so good. But I've seen a lot of people suggesting that the reason it didn't do well is because they quite intentionally didn't advertise it and put it out around the same time as... Was it Toy Story, maybe? Because they wanted to move away from the very expensive hand-drawn animation to the CG animation. So they let it die, and then they could say, "Oh look, this movie underperformed. Obviously, we can't keep running handmade animated movies if this is what they cost." And that was terribly sad to me, because truly, the hand-drawn animation was the golden era of Disney. They've really gone downhill since. I think the last one that I really enjoyed was probably Frozen. Frozen was pretty good. Moana wasn't bad, but like I didn't like it as much as Frozen. Actually, speaking of, one of the funniest things I think for me is see, I didn't watch Frozen 2. Moana did have some catchy songs. I especially like the one, the Away Away. Away Away is really nice. Tatua nata falau mataawina. I don't actually know if I'm saying those words right. That's just the sound impression I get from them. But Away Away was really good. Oh, you butt. I did like... There's a Moana 2? I didn't even know there was a Moana 2. I was just gonna say, like, the funny thing about Frozen is they had that Conceal Don't Feel song, Let It Go. And I loved the in-movie version of that song. Whoever sang that, like the voice actors, did such a phenomenal job that I listened to the official version, and I say that in quotations for I think it was Demi Lovato did it, and I don't like it. I don't like it when she sings it. The movie version was so good. And now they know. I'm not even gonna try and pretend to sing it because I can't hit those notes. But it was great. I love that song. The Good Robot. Okay. I can't hit those notes. It will actually be caterwauling. Like with some of them, with some songs, it's like I know I'm not great, but I can hit like 80% of the notes. With that one, I don't think I'm going to be able to hit 30% of them. I don't think. It would be fun to try, but I don't think it would end well for anyone. I think that is definitely one of the ones you would instantly regret. Why can't I find any beets? Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. See, I can't hit that note. I can't hit that note. It's just not good. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can feel my vocal cords just screaming in agony while trying. I don't know if I could have done that even without the cough. Like before I started being sick like this. But, yeah. I kind of want to listen to Tarzan music again. Phil Collins did such a great job with all of those soundtracks. To guide this life we see. If there was anyone I wish I could copy vocally, Phil Collins would definitely be up there. You know, I actually, just the other day, I re-downloaded a couple of songs from my childhood, back when we were talking about Digimon. So I got Len, Kids in America. I got the Len rendition of that. And also, what was the other one? The Boys of Summer. I got the Atari's version of Boys of Summer. Good songs. Good songs. 10 electronics. Sheesh. I can probably start making those. I have lots. Yeah, I got lots of these. I can make them. I don't remember a lot of them, but there is that one, Go the Distance, that will forever live rent-free. I used to sing that one all the time, or at least as much of it as I could remember, because it's not a constant chunk of song. It stops in the middle where he's talking to Zeus, and or maybe he was talking to his parents. He was talking to his parents, and so that little chunk of dialogue interrupts my ability to recall the lyrics. I don't remember what it is beyond that. Always yield sand. Woo! Gimme sand. But yeah, Hercules music is also great. I loved that movie. It was so much fun. I don't remember who did Hades. Oh, speaking of, have you seen the Disney or anything of the Disney play of Hercules where they've got the fully dressed up Hades on stage? Oh, I saw a video of it the other day, and it was the first time I've seen anything like this. But what they did was they had him painted, and I guess they might have had lights in his hair and stuff too, but they had him painted in such a way that they could do that color shift of his skin live when he gets angry. So he goes from looking blue when he's calm and composed to glowing red on stage just by a little change of the light. It was such a good effect. I was so impressed. Oh, it was so cool. Whoever did the voice of Hades, I've forgotten his name, did such a great job. He was such a fun character. And it really feels like, you know how sometimes there are people that they do the job and they do it well, and you're like, okay, that was a good rendition. But then there are other people that get a role and you can tell they're just having a goddamn blast with it. I feel like he was having a lot of fun with doing Hades. Like, he was so enjoyable to listen to as he was saying stuff. What do we got here? Let's sell some jelly and let's sell some bones. And I should have enough for another island now, I think. Let's buy land. There's one over there. There's one down there. Oh, there's one over here too. Let's maybe do that one. Ooh, there's a tower. Okay. I was actually pretty disappointed when they didn't get him for Kingdom Hearts to voice... At least I don't think so. To voice Hades in the game. Interestingly, I actually have Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PS4, I believe. And I haven't played it. I've had it for years and I've just never played it. I really liked the first one and I really liked the second one. And I got a whole bunch of the in-between games. I even have a PSP with the original version of the Kingdom Hearts for that. James would. I mean, probably. They're not exactly top of their game anymore. Oh, it's not like Disney can't pay it. Yes, that's right. It may have been, and I'm just thinking, it may have been because Kingdom Hearts was so experimental, they didn't want to spend too much money on it. Like, they're already letting them use their IPs and stuff, right? So they could have been like, we're not sure if this is worth investing all this money into. Who's gonna play a Final Fantasy game with Disney characters? Meantime, everyone in the entire world is like, me! Me, look at me over here. I'm waving my hand. That means I'm excited. I actually remember back when years ago now, I guess back when it was still kind of new. Back when the PS2 was still the reigning king of consoles, which I think technically it still is, but I don't think the PS3 had even been there. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not sure even I understand it. it's a lot of weird stuff. But I remember I actually wasn't that interested in Kingdom Hearts back when I first played it, because my cousin had brought over his PS2, and he had brought with him Star Ocean. I think it's Till the End of Time. And that one just instantly caught my attention and my focus. So I was just locked in playing that for as long as I could. I didn't have a PlayStation 2 at the time. All I had was the PS1 and an N64. I think I might have had a GameCube too. PS2 really did have a long reign and was very powerful. But I was so enamored with that game that I couldn't even think about doing anything else. It was really fun. Okay, just gotta check this real quick, because this is the pattern on the inside. Print screen. That's fair. You know, I told Grim this the other day. It's not that I'm against sharing my age or personal details. It really is just that I don't want it to be all that important. Right? Like, I want you guys to be here because you enjoy being here, not because I'm a similar age range, or I don't want the younger generation to be like, oh, he's an old man, I don't want to watch him, that's lame. You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down? I can say that, like I mentioned, my first console was the PlayStation, the original, like the big gray block. Also, I would go to my uncle's house when we were near enough and play his Super Nintendo. So, like, those two things alone should give you a pretty good range of where I am. I've also had three separate original Game Boys because they kept getting stolen. In fact, all three of them ended up stolen, and the only one that I managed to hang on to from around that era is my Game Boy Pocket. Where is my... There we go. But I do have a cool one. At the time, my dad got me... He really splurged for me, which I tremendously appreciate. But he got me a limited edition extreme green Game Boy Pocket. So it's one of those ones with... I don't know if you remember the Donkey Kong 64 Special Edition console. The one that was see-through and transparent green. But that's the same color scheme as the Game Boy Pocket that I have. Me too. It was always cool when they'd let you see inside of things. Mm-hmm. Let me see the guts indeed. Is this supposed to be powered or unpowered? This might be powered. I remember when they'd have the, Hey, Jacob, welcome back. How you doing today? I remember when they had the landlines as well, that were see-through phones. Those are cool. By the way, Jacob, sorry about the other night. I really didn't mean to wake you up with that at everyone tag. I felt bad about it when you were getting mad. Yes, Shovel Knight in Forager. I just wanted everybody to be able to have a say in whether I should do that, but I did feel bad about it. Okay. As long as you weren't actually upset about it, because I did feel bad. I was like, uh-oh. I know that I can't account for everyone's sleep schedule, but it was not a fun thought that I had woken you up. Unless I'm your wife. Well, it's a good thing I'm not your wife, then. Shh. Not saying a word. Not saying a gosh darn word. How you doing today, by the way? You having a good day, friend? Excellent, excellent. Ancient Galaxy Seal. Okay, that's... There we go. Any plans for the day? Doing anything fun and exciting aside from hanging out with me? Obviously that is the most fun and exciting. I didn't freeze. Not the game didn't freeze. I'm just... My mouth suddenly dropped open at reading that you're having chicken cuts sandwich and iced caramel macchiato. Oh, I'm so jealous right now. That sounds amazing. Currently, I'm drinking coffee with a little bit of milk in it. Just black coffee with a little milk. So, single cream coffee. Because I can't have sugary syrups in my house or I drink them and I don't want to be fat. I actually should go get groceries at some point today too. I've had to put off going out to do stuff like that for the last couple of days because I was so drained from that appointment on, I think it was Thursday, that specialist appointment. A pear tart on a lemon curd. Can you explain to me what a lemon curd is, please? Because the only curds that I'm thinking of are cheese curds like I'd have in poutine. Which I know some of the world refers to as squeaky cheese. I do not. But I'm not sure what else would be considered a curd, unless it's like the curdled milk to turn into cheese using lemon juice? Yes, I have tried lemon squares. Same thing? Okay, cool. Cool. That sounds very good as well. And I've never heard of a pear tart before, though. Lemon juice, butter, and tons of sugar. Okay, nice. You know, there was a while where I really wanted to try and figure out the best way to keep base ingredients around for things that I'd want. Like, I don't have things that require sour cream very often. But when I do want sour cream, it's nice not to have to run to the store. So I started I started looking into how to make it, and apparently it was just lemon juice and milk, and it would thicken it up into sour cream. Oh, Jacob, that sounds amazing. You half a pear and core it out and slow cook it in syrup. Then you cool to room temp and put that on top of the custard. Holy crap, that sounds so good. I just assumed it was going to be a tart like you might bake, the English style tarts, like muffins. Or maybe like a Pop-Tart instead. Yours sounds way better. God damn, you always make me hungry. In a good way. It sounds delicious. I'm just incredibly jealous as a result. How long do you think that'll take you to make? Because it seems like a very involved process from start to finish, but I can't really estimate that. Nice. Okay. If you prep the pear the night before, it's not too bad. I think the only things I've ever really prepped are when I was definitely, like, desperately on a budget. Was, there was a time I'd do, like, overnight oats for breakfast. I just have those sitting in the fridge and ready to go for the next morning. Awesome. I didn't mean to go inside this building. Protein cheese sauce. I'm actually super interested in how you make protein cheese sauce. Like just cheese sauce you melt protein powder into? Or is it a specific type of cheese that's excessively high in protein? Because I used to make like protein bars and protein shakes and stuff, but that was just using the whey protein that I could buy from the store. It was very simple and easy to do. Interesting. So what kind of emulsifier do you use? Because the one that I think of most often is like olive oil. But that's just because it's the emulsifying base for mayonnaise, right? Sometimes add smoked cheddar for taste. Now, don't tell my mom, but can you adopt me too? She always hated cooking, so it was never very good. Sodium citrate and a pinch of mustard. Cool. I mean, as with everything you tell me about, it sounds amazing. Genuinely. Skills. I just remember magic structures were 50% faster. Back when I was a kid, my sister is significantly older than me by like 8 years. So when I was a kid growing up, she had a deal with my mom where my sister would do the cooking if my mom did the cleaning, because they each hated those roles respectively. So before she got married, my sister made sure we were usually eating pretty good food. And then after that, my mom took over again until I was old enough to move out and cook on my own. And that was an experience. We'll put it that way. It was an experience. Even when they were in Portugal trying to retire, my parents had 2 of my nieces staying with them for a while. And my nieces were the ones doing the cooking for the same reason, I think. And apparently one night they made this really nice pasta meal, and my mom decided she wanted to contribute, so she made rice to go with it. And then for whatever reason, they couldn't get her off the thought of mixing rice with the noodles. So they turned their back for like 30 seconds, and she had dumped the rice into the noodles and mixed them together for some reason. After they had already gotten her to understand that that probably wasn't a good thing. It's something, alright. Oh, wait, not that one. I need the... Here we go, this one. Unlocks windmills and sprinklers. I'm sure it could be, but this was like white rice and spaghetti, which are not great things to put together, especially if you've already balanced out the carbs for the meal. Yeah. This was not like a well thought out mixture. This was, oh, I'm going to make rice that doesn't go with the dish and then mix them in the same bowl. Yeah. So it's taken me a long time to acquire what skills I have. I make this powdered onion skin so much better than normal onion powder. And garlic powder and cheese powder, dehydrated cheese and sodium citrate, and English mustard powder. Works in most pasta dishes. Do you mix that with water to create a sauce or a paste, or do you just sprinkle it over top like Parmesan cheese that you keep in the fridge? Because it does sound really good. I'm actually really interested in the fact that you said you use the skin too. Ah, okay. Cool. I wouldn't have thought of using onion skin for anything. I just toss that. Nice. I remember powdered onion skin to onion powder is a power move. Nice, okay. I can understand that though. Like that's the same reason I try and leave the skin on my potatoes for mashed potatoes. I scrub them really well, get out the dirty parts, because that's where all the nutrients in the potato are in the skin, right? So, you know, you get a much more filling dish when you do that. Or more nutritious, at least. I love doing that. It's not great when I've missed a spot to clean, but yep. Very, very tasty. I want another mining rod. Oh, how many do I need? I'm still waiting on an electronic. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I told you before, but one of my favorite recipes from Chef John. You may be a failed chef. I didn't know you were a failed chef. It sounds like you're quite successful by your own metrics. everything you make seems to sound delicious, and far more thought has gone into it than anything I do. Which I realize, if you're heavily invested in the craft, that may not be much of a comfort, but to me, whose main meal is like... So you went to training prep school for culinary school. Okay, yeah. Did you drop out, or was it too hard, or do you not want to talk about it more, which is also fair. I'm realizing I probably shouldn't pry. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Honestly, I can understand that, though. Yeah. It is not a risk everyone can take. Like, for damn sure. I was actually watching a video the other day, just a YouTube short again, but they were talking about how they showed med students early on. They showed a what was it? They showed a video of a C-section being performed to weed out the ones that were too squeamish for the course. Tech is a good field to be in. Tech is a very good field to be in. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but I've heard the very similar things about being a doctor. Is like, you go to school for years and years and years, but lots of doctors apparently fall into depression as well, and they want to leave the field early because they're always dealing with sick people and having to give depressing news and things. And I can totally understand that. Like, I had one niece that she said she wanted to be a veterinarian, and I was like, that's cool, that's great, just don't forget that for every dog or cat you're able to treat and help, you're also going to have to put them down and watch the moment when people have to say goodbye to their beloved friends and pets. Like, that's not a thing for the faint of heart. I don't think I'd have the heart to do that. I still feel bad about my last two dogs that I was so heartbroken I couldn't go say goodbye to them as they were getting put down, and I'm like, I feel so bad about having not been there. There's not much I can do about it, but I do feel bad about it. It's surprising how many... Yeah. I know we're talking about how sad that is, but I did see... I could be wrong about this. I could have forgotten it. But I think that there was a video I watched a while back talking about cat behavior and how cats towards the end of their lives will start spending a lot of time with you because they'll know it's coming, so they'll spend as much time with you as they can. And then when they think it's actually time to die, they'll try and go off and hide somewhere they won't be found, because their instinct is to put the body somewhere where predators that come to eat them won't be able to trace them back to their family. So they're protecting you by trying to go off and hide somewhere when they die. And that's a very sweet and very sad sentiment to me. Mm-hmm. Animals are too good to us sometimes. I've also heard that cats in particular don't understand their cats. They think they're whatever animal they're closely associated with. So they think that we are just giant, weird-looking cats of the same species. And that's also why cats raised exclusively around dogs can also be dog-like in nature, because they'll pick up those habits. And I've seen videos of one cat in particular. He was raised around dogs, so he like wags his tail and he barks and he plays fetch, and it was super cute to see that. Did you guys ever see that show? I think it was actually just called Cat Dog. And it was this weird cartoon where it was a dog on one end and a cat on the other end. And they were like conjoined animals. It was such a weird show. It reminds me of it reminds me of the two-headed goat from Futurama, where they made a bet and they're like, "What do you feed that thing? What comes out one end, we feed to the other." It was so gross. That's true. Dogs are notorious for that. We actually had to give one of my dogs some sort of special powder to put on top of their poop so they wouldn't eat it just long enough to break them of that habit. And it's like, what? Why are you doing this? We're feeding you plenty. You don't need the nutrition. It's not nutritious. That can't taste good. We don't deserve animals, and by the same token, sometimes animals are very weird. Yeah. Second nastiest being the monkeys that will throw their poop at each other. Or us, or whatever they feel like throwing poop at. It's the circle of food. Actually, you missed it, Jacob. Conup and I were just talking about Disney movies, and in particular, how awesome Treasure Planet was, as well as apparently Conup says Frozen 2 was pretty good. I haven't watched it. She said Conup said it got dark at some point. And I haven't watched it. I think I might if it's being recommended. I'd have to find somewhere to watch it. The last time I have not, no. Suddenly I feel the need to look this up though. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. It was from 1999? What the hell? Is this a movie or is this a series? Is a 1999 American science fiction comedy film directed by Kenneth Johnson and starring Kristen Storms as the eponymous heroine. The film was based on the book Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, written by Marilyn Sadler and Roger Ballin. Originally conceived as a pilot for a potential TV series. The film was first under the Disney Channel original movie banner to produce a sequel, Xenon the Sequel. A third and final installment was also produced, Xenon Z3. Wait, Disney Channel? Back in 2001? I didn't even know Disney Channel was a thing in 2001. Like, streaming services were not that popular until at least 2010, I think. Because I'm pretty sure Blockbuster survived for quite a while before Netflix killed it. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Woo! I feel like I should start singing Gwen Stefani at this point. If I was a rich girl, na 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 na. I think that was Gwen Stefani, I'm not sure. Because I don't think it was Pink. I'm just kidding, Jacob. I'm just kidding. Don't be mad at me, it was a joke. This thing is not big enough. I need a greater radius. Jacob, the more you're talking, the more I'm thinking of that scene with Lionel Messi on the reality show, where his wife is like, "We grow up a very common family," and he says, he pokes his head around the quote, "Don't lie." What did your father drive to school to pick you up? Well, he had several cars. Don't lie. Tell the truth. It was a Bentley. I'm not picking on you for it or saying you're wrong about that. I just wanted to mention the meme because I think it's funny. That's fair, man. That's fair. Like I said, I'm not judging. I just wanted to mention the meme because it was entertaining. Oh yeah, I can get rid of this. There we go. Was it Beckham? Yeah, might have been David Beckham. I don't know why I thought it would be Lionel Messi. Who was I talking to the other day? We actually got talking about... Oh yes, I was talking to Nat the other day while she was streaming. I was making her very frustrated with my take on imperial and metric measurements. Because, oh! That crystal was unexpected. My take on it was that metric measurements are good for everything precise, but imperial measurements are good for estimations. And the very fact that I said the word estimations was enough to entirely throw her into disarray. But on that train of thought, I also brought up that the British were responsible for an awful lot of weird things, including the term soccer, which they now so vehemently reject. Which just came to mind because we were talking about Beckham. I don't know if that's getting your blood boiling as well, but... Not particularly. I have never been a fan of sports ball. Like any kind. I think the only interest I ever had in it was, I had a Madden 2000 game for the PC, and I think my brother-in-law gave me a baseball game for the Game Boy Color. Outside of that, I don't really have much experience with it. Now that I did see, yes, I remember that being incredibly frustrating for a lot of people. And a huge surprising upset. Hi Nat! Welcome back! I'm not sure how long you've been here. I was just telling Jacob about our funny little conversation from the other day. Or from yesterday, I guess, where I was talking about the estimation. You've been here all along? You didn't say nothing? Oh, man, I could have been talking to Nat too. I don't get join notifications from my app. I have to go in and check users individually. You are fishing? Oh, are you playing Dave the Diver? Are you playing Dave the Diver not on stream? Oh, how could you? I mean, I appreciate you being here, but... man, like, so many people want to see you play Dave the Diver, and you just keep not playing on stream. I'll have you know, I hold off on playing games I want to play more of until I'm on stream, so you guys can see it. Oh, pish posh, who's tired of it already? I mean, you say that, but this is already like hour 12 to 14 of Forager. Do you actually have people complaining about the games that you're playing, or is that just your impression? Because I'm interested in that now. None of you guys have been saying anything about what I've been playing. Okay. One person, okay. I mean, that's fair. I can totally see that happening, and that's why I try and mix things up. Hopefully it's not too frustrating for you guys to have the split like this. That's fair. I think that's the best vibe to have. Oh, Jacob. That's a mean question, because that does unfortunately fall into the spooky game I would play category, because it's not supernatural. What would it take? Okay, so here's what I'll say it'll take for me to play Alien Isolation, okay? The main one is I don't want to pay for it because I don't want to pay for spooky games most of the time. That's scary for me. I haven't played Little Nightmares either, Nat. I don't know. But generally the rule is I don't want it to be supernatural, and I don't want to have to pay for it. So if someone wants to buy it for me, I would play it. But I will stipulate that even if I play it, I reserve the right to take breaks if I'm getting stressed out or too scared. Just like when we were playing Echoes of the Eye, I was totally okay continuing to play it in normal mode, but I did have to stipulate that I needed to take a break and just like breathe for a second, and I had to go and do that extra bit in Matrix mode just to check things out. So as long as I can do that and I don't have to pay for it, I'm on board with that. So if you guys want me to make that like an overarching sub and bits goal, I can do that. You would just have to contribute to it, and I couldn't guarantee it would be done. But if that's something you're interested in, I can change the current goal from blueprints to alien isolation. I don't mind doing that one bit. Also, you have to come watch. I don't want to do it by myself. So just like let me know if you want that to happen. I can work on it. What? I got Sphinx? What the hell is this? It weighs a ton. I could probably sell these. Yeah, let me know if you want to do that. Also, just for reference, in the general channels, you guys can make polls too, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to work something out among yourselves as to trying to get me to do something, you can do that. Like, that's fine. If you want to be like, hey, we're trying to get Hero to play spooky games, this is the list of things we'd like to work towards. What is everyone on board for? That works for me too. The director system is the one that allows the alien to actually function, right? Because I remember hearing something about it before where they have the alien brain and the alien body running on different AI. So the brain constantly knows where you are, but the body is fighting it and doing random things. And that's what allows it to function rather than just instantly finding you every time. I think that's what I heard. That's how they balanced it originally, at least. I don't know if that's still the case if you say they updated the director system. Gotcha. Because I know, I still remember back when, I think it was GoldenEye came out on the GameCube, because I was still getting Nintendo Power at that time, and they were advertising to no ends its special evil AI engine. Yeah. Yeah. I want to buy more things out this way. I would be interested. I will say that. I would be interested to play Alien Isolation. And, like, there's a lot of things that I'm terrified of. Hi, Waylord. How you doing? Welcome back. I'm doing good, but I'm kind of talking myself into a corner here. Jacob asked a mean question of what it would take to get me to play Alien Isolation in October. And I won't shut up about what it might take, and I'm kind of talking myself into being able to do it. Which I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. I don't know why you guys love to see me play spooky games. I am assuming I am funny to see scared. At least I hope so. I'm not really sure. Yeah, how you doing today, Waylord? Let's dodge the topic of my scariness. That's fair. Actually, did everyone see Waylord's minifigures? He is so skilled, my goodness. I went back after stream the other day to look at them again, and I saw all that, all the details you put into them. So I was talking about all the battle scars and things of the higher end painters that I saw, and then I'm looking at the ones you made, and I'm seeing all the battle scars you put in, and I'm like, holy crap. Waylord, why are you comparing yourself to anyone? Like, damn. You're doing a great goddamn job. I suppose that is the permanent curse of creators, though. You always have to look at your own artwork with a critical eye, so you think you're not that good. Waylord is an artist. Like, a great one. I am by no means... Saying this just proves my point, by the way. I am by no means a good artist, but I do like to draw. And I think after all of my time practicing, I have developed my own style, which is different from everyone else's and makes it unique. But because of that, it also makes it hard to really compare it or to feel like I have a good comparison. So I look at other people's art and I'm like, well, nobody would want my art. Nobody would like to look at my art. I am not very good. And I think everybody runs into that. It seems like a fair thing to always have imposter syndrome. I think that's what they called it, imposter syndrome. Where you're doing something, but you always feel like it's not your own work or like you're not good enough. So you're constantly living in fear of judgment or being called out for not being good at what you do. Yeah. I think that's what it was called, was imposter syndrome. I don't remember where I was going with that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what the term was, and it's hard to get over that feeling. But I think for whatever it's worth, if you're doing what you love, there is no imposter syndrome. You just get to enjoy the process. It is continual growth. It reminds me of, what was it? I think it was called Suicide Sheep, is this, this musical artist on YouTube. It might have been Suicide Sheep. Or it might have been Pogo, too. But years and years back, they did remixes of certain things. Pogo did remixes of Disney movies for the non-musical parts, but he made them musical, which was really interesting. And I think Suicide Sheep did remixes of non-musical interviews and things. So there was this one interview in particular he did with Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee's talking and he's like, what was it? It was a clip from an interview intercut with movie bits. And it was something like... he was talking about being like flowing water. You know, you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water in a bowl, it becomes the bowl. And martial arts and life in general is just a process of continual growth. It's not a matter of getting from point A to point B, but of pressing yourself to see how far you can go. And I find that very inspiring. The thought that it doesn't matter how good you are, you can always improve. Whenever I start feeling down on myself, I think of things like that, and it's like, you know what? I'm making progress. Even today, I told you guys about this. Yep. Making art is super therapeutic, though. Like, even if you're doing nothing, it's still impressive. Think about adult coloring books. They can't, for people that may not necessarily want to draw or create the designs, but they can focus in and very therapeutically just color for hours these super intricate designs. I've talked about it before. Bobcat is actually quite an artist herself. She's got some of those adult coloring books, but she paints them so incredibly well that you end up just flabbergasted by the result. I never knew how much creative freedom those books could give you in the blank space, but she just does such a bang-up job of it. If you guys ever want to see something cool, bug her in the Discord about showing you some of the adult coloring books. She has done an incredible job with some of them. What else was I gonna say? We were talking about... What were we talking about before that? Bruce Lee, continual growth. Oh, yeah! Even today, like, I got on and I was looking at my stats before stream, and I'm seeing, you know, the sub count and the viewer count, and I was thinking to myself, I am shocked I have even grown this much. Don't get me wrong, very appreciative. I am shocked I've grown this much, though. I've said it before, I didn't know people would even want to hang out with me, let alone, like, come give me bits and come back regularly or subscribe to me. And it's cool seeing the channel grow, especially in light of, I saw that same guy that I was talking about yesterday in Final Fantasy XIV today, and same thing, he was just hanging out in Ul'dah, shouting in all chat about how he had been doing this for 4 years, and he was so depressed that he was so far away from his landmarks of 75 out of 75 viewers and all these people on his socials. And I'm like, well, then why are you still doing the same thing? If you're getting depressed over doing it, maybe consider doing something else. or if you can't see the bright sides of what you're doing, then maybe it's not fun for you anymore? I don't know. It might be nothing to have brought that up, but I did feel bad for him. By the same token, it just reinforced that, like, I need to be appreciative for the smaller goals in between any big event. It is a journey, not a destination. And it always reinforces my desire to thank you guys for being here. So thank you. It's really cool, especially these, like, Monday morning days where you guys all come and hang out with me for a while. Nat especially, because I know she's playing Dave, but it's also, like, end of the day for her. And it's nice having you guys here to wind down and just chill out. Especially with my stream of consciousness rambling like this. Let's see. Oh, no worries. Dave always needs your help. You are welcome to do that. Even if you're not chatting, Nat, I appreciate your presence. I will say that. There are times I have other friends online, ones that I play Helldivers with. Thank you, Caught Up. And even if they're playing games that I don't necessarily enjoy, I'll go hang out and I'll lurk there for a while I do other things. Because you gotta support the homies, right? Thank you, Nat. And Jacob redeemed a toot as well. Actually, I know two people now. They are streamers that I play Helldivers with, and occasionally. One of them is No Brainer. He's in here fairly frequently. The other one is Simple Jack Gaming. Simple Jack's Gaming. And they've been playing Warframe recently, which seems cool. I don't know much about it, but it also seems like super weird. The storyline for it is so unusual that I don't know what to make of the game itself. Jack got to a point the other day where it seemed like the entire focus of the gameplay changed. See, Jacob knows what I'm talking about. I have not played it. I have very vaguely watched them play a little bit. It seemed like... So, I watched... Yeah. I was watching No Brainer play the other day, or yesterday, actually. And it seemed like a very normal, like, mech combat thing at the start. And then watching Simple Jack play it later on, it was this weird thing where it was like its own world, where the lore had some kid playing a flashback from a different dimension. It seemed really interesting. I don't know how deep I could delve into that without losing my goddamn mind. Can buy a new island, I think. One over here, one over here. I'll buy this one. I haven't played Destiny either. I've heard Destiny was good and Destiny 2 took a big hit in quality, was it? I remember there being some kind of disconnect. Destiny is like Elite Dangerous, or are we talking about Warframe still? Oh, well, that's nice. Elite Dangerous isn't too hard to get into. You just need to do some reading to figure things out. As long as you have a goal, Jacob, Elite Dangerous is pretty easy. Like, you don't have to go with literally anything. You don't have to follow the story. You can just treat it like a spaceship sim. Go trade, go explore, bring the data back, sell it, get fancy ships. If you want to get into the lore, you have to do more reading, and that that'll make you go to specific planets to get technology and stuff to fight the Thargoid invasion. But even that is pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Elite Dangerous gameplay or like lots of it, but there is this one thing that always makes me go back and think it's so cool. I've never even beaten a Thargoid, by the way, but there is this alien race called the Thargoids that have been invading space. And there's this awesome scene where your ships use what's called a frame shift jump to get between solar systems, and it's very safe. Like, you go from point A to point B, nothing happens, it's basically just a loading screen. But your first encounter with the Thargoids is so goddamn terrifying, because you're in this safe space, this loading screen, and then all of a sudden your ship starts going like crazy, warning lights are going off, you don't know what's going on, you get pulled out of the middle of your jump, and your whole system resets. All your power goes off, you can do nothing, and you hear this ominous sound behind you like a whoom. And then from out to the left of your periphery, you see this giant biomechanical flower-like thing swoop around right up to your face, and it scans your ship, turns around, and flies off. And you can't do anything the entire time with your ship powered down except be completely terrified about what just happened. And it is such a cool introduction to that. Oh, I was so terrified the first time it happened. I couldn't... I didn't know what was going on, but it was amazing. It was the most cinematic moment I had seen in a game in quite a while. I think the only thing... No, not even comparable to that. I was going to talk about Uncharted, because Uncharted 3 was so cinematic. But, like, this was just beyond that. It was incredible as an experience. I don't have anything to light this yet. I can't do this one. One Pace is funny. I haven't watched it, it's just a funny name. That could be interesting, Jacob, but it's difficult to organize. There used to be different apps and things that you could do that with, but difficult. Because without the apps that like synchronize a single player or the crappy feed of watching it together over a single person's internet, it's difficult. I remember when I wanted to go through and watch all of Naruto and Shippuden, I just found a list that told me which episodes were fillers and which parts were not. So I could just skip through and watch the actual story. Because I remember especially before we got to this time skip in Naruto, it was just a drag. If DBZ Abridged was seriously made with no joke, but with One Piece. That's cool. I think the only abridged series I've watched is Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. And Little Karibo still does such a hilarious job with that. I love that stupid show. Hey look, a pair of levitating chesticles. Oh wait, it's my. I find myself quoting that abridged series very frequently. Brooklyn Rage! Brooklyn Rage! You can tell I actually like it a lot because I laugh hard enough to cough. Napa Auto Parts? Helsing Abridged? I don't do vampires very well. I wish I could say I wasn't so much of a coward, but I am. You guys know that. But I don't do vampires well. I specifically remember one time when I was young, I watched an episode of Tales of the Crypt Keeper that I should not have watched, and it is stuck in my head with me the entire time. Yeah, I'm good on Twilight, thank you. But Tales of the Crypt Keeper was scary, man. Because, like, they were stories that didn't have happy endings. And that was so foreign to me as a kid, that the bad guys could win, or that terrifying things could happen. So, for whatever reason, in this particular episode that I cannot forget, this guy was going to a vampire castle to save the princess or whatever, and everything seems to be going to plan, but then at the end, it's a trap, and he gets eaten anyway. And so that night, I ended up having the worst nightmare of my life. I woke up so scared, I was literally shivering, and I was knocking on my parents' door at like 3 a.m. desperate to go sleep with them because I couldn't function. It was an awful experience, and ever since, vampires and I have a very tenuous relationship. I'm not going to jump into the Twilight discussion because I don't know anything about it. You guys feel free to discuss it among yourselves. I won't stop you from having that discussion, but I have nothing to contribute. Oh, I did see this this parody of it once, where it was just a little short skit, because apparently the vampire in Twilight sparkles in the sunlight, and so the girl's talking about how she's so infatuated with him. He's a vampire. He's magical, and all this stuff, right? And she's talking to some counselor or some adult about her feelings with him, and he's like, "Oh no, you didn't get any of it on you, did you?" And in that very kind of Australian humor way, "You didn't get any on it, did you? He's doing this again?" And like, it's not that he's a vampire, he's just got a health condition that's like really bad and contagious. And so as they're talking about it, she's like, "Oh, ew, yeah, that makes sense. Ew." I can see that. I can't believe, ew. I And he's like, he's got some mental impediments that make him act in that particularly strange way. And he's got the health condition that makes him flake in the sunlight and it sparkles. It was quite humorous. Yeah, yeah. Right? Right? Nat, like, even the regular Z zombies were weird enough. Yeah, I know. As soon as I came across the sea zombies, I was like, when did this become a horror game? And that whole sequence where you're being chased through the halls, like, goddamn, that was scary. I did not like that. Yeah. See, I was 100% sure that the hand that was crushed was just gonna reach out and grab Swam. I was like 100% sure that was gonna happen. I could just see that being a thing. I was surprised and grateful it didn't happen. But, yeah, fuck that game. Well, I mean, he's full of himself, but he's a decent enough guy at heart. He just wants to take all of the glory. Right? Ugh. I feel that way very much about A Hat in Time. Like I said before when we were talking about it, I haven't gotten to scary part yet, but I am not looking forward to that mansion in the least. Yeah, I was expecting cheery... The old lady, the shadowy old witch thing in the mansion. I haven't gotten that far. I have not experienced it. But I saw clips of it. And it seems so terrifying. I am not looking forward to that. I am not looking forward to it at all. We will get there eventually, though. You have a lot of faith in me, Nat. You have a lot of unfounded faith in me. You know I am a goddamn coward. Actually, you never watched my playthrough of Outer Wilds DLC. That's fair. That's fair. But the DLC, if you haven't played Outer Wilds, don't watch my playthrough. Save all information you can get and play Outer Wilds. Just don't look at anything. But I will tell you that in the hidden Discord that Jacob and Waylord and Conop were in, yeah. But in their hidden Discord, as they were keeping track of my progress, they made note of the fact that when I first started up the DLC, I accidentally skipped over the warning notice that said that the game or the DLC contains frights and there's a lessened fright mode. I managed to somehow completely skip over it. And they were laughing at me in Discord like, oh, this gonna be good. Yeah. Oh, no, Nat, it is an amazing experience. It is so entertaining. Yeah, it's freaking phenomenal. They say don't go in with any sort of expectation and that everything you say is spoilers, but the one thing that I tell people to enjoy it is that you're basically a space archaeologist uncovering the past. And it's really interesting piecing things together and discovering it. It is freaking phenomenal. I will put it this way, Nat, if you were to stream it, I would stay up late to make sure I could watch you play it. If you were to stream it, I would give up my Final Fantasy XIV time to watch you play it. It is that good of a game. And once you've experienced it once, you can never experience it again. That's why you don't look up any information beforehand, because everything that you know affects how you play the game. And you will regret not being able to play it for the first time again once you're done with it. It is amazing. It is such an experience. So if you're ever interested, and I think the Steam fall sale is coming up end of September. It's so good, Nat. It is so good. You don't have to. And like I'm saying, it's coming up. Steam fall sale is coming up again end of September as well. Which means it will go on sale, and the DLC will go on sale then too. But I will suggest that you do what I did and make sure you save the playthrough on YouTube or something, because you may not be able to go through and experience it for the first time again. But you can go through and watch your own experiences and judge what you did. And it's not the same, but it's close. Yeah. It is super fun as a knowledge-gated progression game. Yeah. Oh, fair enough, but I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt to add it to your wish list. Totally fair. Totally fair. Just pointing it out. It is amazing. Yeah. If you want to... if you want to do something really fun, make sure that you and Gamer Hubby play it separately, so that whoever completes it first can silently judge the other person's actions and decisions. Just make sure you say nothing in the process. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Just, you know, it will be interesting when you have knowledge of what's going on and he does not. So maybe you play it first and don't let him watch, and then let him play and you can watch him then. It will be a very interesting experience, but so worthwhile. That's what I'm talking about, Waylord. Yeah. That's exactly it. That would be such a fun experience. I'm hoping one day Yes, you should. I am hoping one day I can get my nieces and nephew to do that as well, because I would be very interested in seeing them play it. It's just a matter of them having enough time these days and coming over to visit long enough to play it. Because it can take a while. I think my base game playtime was probably around 17 hours, probably. Yeah. We jokingly say it's a cult, Nat, but genuinely, Waylord and Jacob and Conop all found me through this Discord who specifically set up just to track streamers playing it on Twitch, so that everybody can go and watch and make comments spoiler free to themselves, not to you. I didn't find out about it until after I was done, but I went in and it was really interesting to see all of the comments and things that were made about my playthrough. It's such a great experience. I hope I am selling this to you enough that you're like, okay, yeah, this seems interesting. It is freaking phenomenal. I will recommend Outer Wilds to everyone forever. Oh, it's so good. I am looking forward to you playing it, Nat. A lot. Just please promise me that you won't play any of it off stream. I want to watch. We all want to watch. I hear you playing Dave the Diver, but don't do that with Jacob, your butt. No off stream. No off stream. Everything on stream. I called Jacob a butt, by the way, because he'd say that every time I was getting stuck on something. Every time I was like, well, what's this? Is it this? Am I thinking about this the right way? Jacob would be like, makes you think, doesn't it? And I'm like, you dickbag. It was super fun. I'm glad he didn't spoil anything. But every time I got stuck, I now have this Pavlovian response that he says that, and I'm like, ah. Just brings up memories of frustration. Yeah, it's super fun. I hope you get to experience it. Fallout 4 would be interesting. Outer Wilds will change your life. That's all I'm saying. It is that good. It is so incredible. It deserves every accolade that it got. There has never been another game that I wish I could go back and play again without knowledge of it more than Outer Wilds. I was so grateful to myself for having heard that it's good and never watching a thing about it. Yep. Yep. And like I said, it was Outer Wilds that actually got me the affiliate status, and it's what led Jacob and Waylord and Conop here, because they were the ones that actually stayed and watched with me for like most of it, and they were the ones that stayed and chatted with me. And they were kind enough to stick around and hang out afterwards. But yeah, that's how I met them, and that's what I don't remember. That's what really like kept me interested in streaming, is that everybody was so kind and hung out and came back, and it was such a fun experience. So it will always have a special place in my heart. What the hell was that? Oh, that's what that was. There are enemies up here. I did not know those could spawn there. But, yeah. We've all just been talking about Outer Wilds for the last, like, 30 minutes, and it's been a blast. It's super interesting, too, because we talked about Outer Wilds while talking nothing about Outer Wilds the entire time. We're all talking around it just to hype it up. Good times, good times. Yeah. What's Outer Wilds? I've heard it's great. I don't know. Can you clarify that, Waylord? Are you talking about the one that I'm playing, or are you just leaning into the joke about Outer Wilds? We would, but the general rule for Outer Wilds is respect the streamer's experience, so let you experience as much as you can. Unless you ask for help, we say nothing. Okay, just making sure, Waylord. This game is, the one I'm playing is kind of weird too, so I didn't know for sure. But yes, I hope you get to play it. I hope you get to enjoy it as much as we did. Yeah. Gravity makes you fall and stuff, yeah. Well, not always. If you're going fast enough, sometimes gravity makes you fall forever instead. That's how orbits work. I will say, Nat, and I mean, you don't have to do this, but if there was ever a game you wanted to bring your face cam back for, that would be the one, because people will enjoy watching your reactions to things. I don't know if I would have gotten more viewers or more people sticking around if I had a face cam on, but I think it will be worth it if you would like. Because I know you're not opposed, you've done it before, and the Outer Wilds crew is totally on board with that. Like, they are not mean. Everyone is very nice. The biggest flaw of the Outer Wilds crew is that they will always want to talk about and spoil things, and it is a very difficult journey to not say anything that will spoil it while you're playing. I was just conversing with a guy I went in to watch the other day, and I almost spoiled things for him just in talking about our shared experiences. Caught up, and Jacob had to remind me not to say too much. I may have done that a time or two. Actually, how is the bingo going for my playthrough, Waylord? Have you managed to cross any squares off yet? You said you were gonna re-watch it with your bingo card the other day? Skills. Magic. Cooking. No. Okay, okay. The hard one to get through is going to be episode 4, because that's when I really got lost in it, and it turned into like a 7.5-hour episode. That one will take you a while to get through. 50% more loot from enemies and bosses might actually be a good one to have. Management. Oh, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Hopefully friends that did not frustrate you with their playthroughs. I remember you having problems with that in the past. Yeah, he posted in Discord the other day. Yeah, Nat, do not look. You're not allowed. It is forbidden. It is forbidden. Forbidden. I can make some banks. I forgot about that. Economic. There we go. Automatically generates coins for free. We're making a couple of these. Yeah, here will be fine. 2, 3. Woohoo! Nat bought it! Nat bought Outer Wilds! Woo! I know you're probably tired, Nat. You don't have to do this. I'm just going to say, if you wanted to play it right away, I'm only scheduled to play this for another like 2 minutes, and I would 100% cancel the King's Quest stream to watch you play. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sleep is for the weak. Outer Wilds is forever. Yes, 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 yes. We'll have to make a new channel on the Interloper Forager. You can start hyping it up. Be like, yo, she's gonna play. I didn't need to pin that. I wanted another bank. There we go. That's fair. That's probably for the best too. But I think you will start and then you won't want to stop. So a big break in between is not something I think you'll worry about. Like I said, I quite accidentally played for almost 8 hours straight once. We'll just use the Interloper one. We could make it on my Discord, but unfortunately I don't, end of November, December? Okay. We could technically make the a private channel on my Discord. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that. I haven't even figured out how to get that little warning at the start to like agree to the rules before you can chat. So better to not let me mess things up or risk messing things up with that. I'll just leave it to you guys that know what you're doing on the Discord server that's already set up specifically for that. Golden wallet, there we go. Cause yeah, I can't guarantee I won't mess things up and spoilers will be spelt accidentally by my incompetence with Discord. I could look into that. I could look into that. Yeah, Nat's gonna be busy. Okay. Well, just know, Nat, just know that not only do you have permission, I 100% encourage you to let us know on my Discord as well when you're going to be playing it. Like, you promote that every freaking time you're gonna play, because we will want to watch. I'm just saying that. I know you're shy. Don't be shy about this. Got the golden wallet. Good. No. Not unless you jump scare yourself. Like, for example, I do have clips on my channel of times where I've been jump scared by water, and I got jump scared by an island, and I got jump scared by a cactus. But it's not like things are going to pop out of you out of nowhere. It's just that I'm a coward. So I got jump scared by some of that. To be fair, that cactus did come out of nowhere. It attacked me, okay? Like I said, Nat, in the base game, you don't have to worry about that. In the DLC, which I 100% recommend you play, after you're done with the main game, don't install it now, even if you buy it. There is a warning that there are frights and a reduced fright mode if you're scared. Just so you're aware. But yeah, for the most part, the main game is not jump scary in the least, unless you let your nerves get the better of you. Yes, Jacob tried that for me. Because I got them both during the summer sale. And I was very glad I didn't have the DLC installed as I was going through. Otherwise, I'd have found it by accident. By complete fluke accident on like the first or second episode. You say that now, Nat. But once you're done with the base game, you're gonna be like, I wish I had bought the DLC. I need more. So I'm just saying. Don't expect you're going to be pressured into this. I just think you're going to want to pressure yourself into it later. It is not as spoopy as you might think. It's just there is spoopy, and there is reduced fright mode, which is not nearly as bad as Five Nights at Freddy's ever was. Not that I played it, but I know that it's not. I'm still annoyed that last guy that I went to see got through that area I had to Indiana Jones. He got through so easily, so scot-free. Ugh. Yeah. Exactly. You got time. We're not pressuring you for either of them. We're just saying you may want to get it after you beat the base game. And by may, I mean you most likely will, because it's amazing. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't know that I ever want to play Five Nights at Freddy's. Where are... I don't need these in there. There we go. I didn't want to lock that. I wanted to put this in there and lock that. Did I want to put it over there? No, I wanted it over here is what I wanted. Waylord's piling on the pressure. Just whenever you want, do it. Do it now. As you can tell, we're a bit interested. There might be some small interest. A little bit here and there. Slightly. Little tiny bit of invested interest. I need some more gold. Get to the chopper. Go. Oh yeah, if you were lurking for a while, that means you heard my awful rendition of Let It Go earlier, Nat. But did you hear my sea shanties from the other day? You didn't? Oh, okay, well, too bad. Okay. I don't know why you guys are so obsessed with hearing me sing anyway. I was just thinking about it. I need just a touch of gold. Where is a little bit more gold? Well, thank you. I don't believe you, but thank you. Put that up there, lock it in place. Good. Okay, good. I did, yes. And then yesterday while I was playing Raft, I was singing a bunch of sea shanties. Not because someone tipped me to, but just because they were in mind while I was playing Raft. I don't know all of the words, but I know some of them, and they're fun. That being said, we are already 130 minutes in, so I'm going to call it on the stream for today. I imagine Nat is probably tired as well. So thank you very much for watching, as always. I will probably be back in about 50 minutes, I'm going to go grab some more coffee, maybe a snack, and then I'll be back with King's Quest. So if you guys are interested, you're welcome back for that. Otherwise, no worries. I know it is not exactly a big ticket item for you. And as always, I appreciate you being here. Sure, I can do that. Let me do that. Oh, if you want to stick around for a sec, Jacob, for the raid, you can get those bonus channel points. You don't have to. But since Conop mentioned it, that is a good thing. Moose Ref. R-E-F, right? Sure, I can raid him today. Where is raid channel? There we go. Moose Ref. Playing Terraria, right? Conop? That's the right person? Alright. I will send you over to him then. As always, thank you for watching. Oh, I gotta save on stream too, so don't forget before I do anything else. Save and exit. There we go. Okay. Now I'll send you over. Catch you later, guys.